Hi, I'm Braxton Roberts, and each and every week we are contacted by people all over North Georgia, and especially in the Walton and the Gwinnett County areas here in the Atlanta area, to sell one piece or entire estates. We take the best of the best, we put those in the holiday auctions. We take the rest of the items and sell them at our Monday night antique auctions. You can visit all our stuff on our website at auction78. If you're ever in the Atlanta area on Monday, make sure you stop by and visit us. Once again, this is auction78. And one of our uniquest and most unusual items that we have is actually this. This is a full wolf, full pelt. And we actually had a friend that actually lived in northern Alaska that was actually a missionary up there, and he actually brought this back with him when he came back from Alaska serving on the field. Now, the only thing that makes this legal is this little stamp right here. And this is actually a DNR stamp. It is actually illegal to possess a wolf pelt unless it has this stamp on it. And this allows it to be held in all U.S. cities, and the stamp is marked U.S. cities. This is a full-scale wolf pelt. One of the unique things about it, I remember when I was growing up, I used to live in the Alaska area, and I remember seeing these and just standing in awe how large the wolves were. This actually gives you a great idea how much of a monster a wolf is and how dangerous they are in real life. Have no idea of what this is going to expect. I can expect it to probably sell for between $150, $200, $225. Somewhere in that range. I don't really know. I look for it to see what it sells for at the auction just as much as you do. But the question I have is for you is, what's a nice wolf pelt with the correct stamp, the DNR stamp, worth to you at the auction? Let's go find out. This is lot number 9797. This came out of the estate out of Alaska too. The only thing that makes this legal, it does have the DNR tag right there on it, means you can possess it. Without that, you'd be up the creek. So, super nice, let's sell it.
All right, here we go. How you tell me how right here, nice, unusual, hard to find. Hey, count the numbers. 7,000, 500 where? 5 where? I got 100 now too. 100 now too. 200 down 2, 100 down 150, 100 down 125, 150 sir, 150, 150 down 175 sir, 150 down 175, 175 175, take it down 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter. I'm at 2 here, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter, half, 2 and a quarter, half, 2 and a half, anybody get 250, anybody get 250, let's go, 250 and sell it right there.
Hey, I'm at auction78 today, and I got a new gun, my Glock. Staff here is awesome, and I really appreciate the atmosphere and having a good deal today.
Hey, about twice a year we are contacted by an import company that brings us loads of architectural iron and Egyptian doors. This door right here is actually brought over on a container from Egypt, and these are 8 foot, as high as 9 foot architectural Egyptian doors. And today's, there's hundreds of people actually repurposing doors like this. I've seen them on the side of buildings. I've seen them inside bedrooms for the master headboard. I've seen them inside game rooms to actually make into a door, to repurpose them and to cut them and trim them. These doors are right around the 1910s to 1890s doors. They're all hand carved. They're from Northern Africa, in the Saudi Arabia, Egypt area, right in that window. These are amazing. They are solid core doors. These doors themselves are probably about 2.5 to 3 inches thick and weigh about 200 to 300 pounds for the set. It's incredible how beautiful these doors are when they're restored and what you could use them for. The imagine is mindless and endless on what you could use these doors for. The question I have for you is, what's a set of doors like this worth to you? Over the last 2 years we've sold them, they've averaged as low as $100 for a small set and as high as $500 and $600 for an incredible set. This is in the middle range. I expect these set of doors to sell somewhere between $200 and $400. But what are you willing to pay for? Let's go find out at the auction. Large door over here. Right there it is, large curve, architectural. Hey guys, hold it up.
Hey, you go. You can make one heck of a table out of this
Hey, I've
beautiful
seen those
wood.
tables, I've seen those headboards and doors and entertainment centers and decorate whatever you want, ma'am. So
All right.
probably turn this
500
into.
to go.
Let's go.
Everybody fine. Everybody fine. 3, 3, let's go. Everybody $100 this roll. Everybody 100. Everybody go on. Look at 100. Everybody 50, 75. 50 down, 75, 5, 75, 75, 60. Where? 50, 60. I'm going to 50 down. 50 down. Let's go. Look at 50, 60. I'm at 50 down, 60. I'm at 50 down, 60. Everybody 60 now 70. 60 now 70. 60 now 70. Under the money here. Now 80 here. 70 now 80. You turn. 80. Don't think about it. Just feel. Have we got 80? 80. I'm with you at 70 now 80. 70 now 80. Now 90. Now 90. 50 now $100 on. Everybody go on. You bid for her. She wants it. Down now 110. I'm at 110. 110. 110. I'll end on 120. 110. I'll be back. 120. 110.
According to our U.S. government, a period piece of furniture is actually determined and defined as anything older than 100 years old. In February of 2016, Braxton will be still in its 29th year in business. So when we started, it was about 1890 to 1880s Victorian that was a period piece of furniture. Nowadays, it being 2015, of course, that makes it right into 1915, which is the oak period, is considered a period piece of furniture, anything older than 100 years old. This right here is actually an early empire desk. We estimate this desk to be between 1820s to 1840s. This piece here is absolutely amazing. It's got crotch mahogany on the front, and it's got paneled doors, separate paneled doors. As with all antiques, you always want to look at the glass. This does have a little damaged piece right here. It should not affect it that much because of the age. What makes this one unique is this has a fall front secretary in it, and the whole thing just drops right down and it opens right up. What makes this even more unique is the hidden drawers in this. It's got ebony inlay on it, but right here in the front is actually a little hidden drawer. And the only thing we could think of, it was used for holding currency because it's real thin and real narrow. So maybe somebody used to hide their money in the 1820s, 1840s. But this piece here is all original. It's got a few little pieces of veneers missing, but you know, hey, if you were 160, 170 years old, you'd have a few pieces missing also. I've had pieces like this sell for as high as $1,000 and as low as $150. This one I expect to fall in between the $200 to $300, maybe $400 range. But it's a super nice early 1820s to 1840s early secretary. What do you think it's worth? Let's go find out at the auction. This is actually a step back cupboard. It's probably 1820s to 1850s. What's cool, it's got some actually hidden drawers in it, and even the drawers are old 200-year-old dovetails on the whole thing. This is amazing. Leather top, slide out front, secretary. It does 556. That's right. It does have one piece of glass you can repair. No big deal. Anyway, you're buying it. They're going to spin around and show you back, front, everything. Guys, this is almost 200 years old.
Man, this is a super nice piece here. Alright, yeah, 4,000. Everybody go forward. Everybody get 3, 2,000. Let's go. Look at $1,000. Everybody get 1,500. Set me in. 300. Set me in. Start me out. Everybody get 3. Start me out. I can't see a lot of folks here on my right, so help me out, guys. Everybody get 3. Now 4.
I got 100.
Well, there you go. Now 2. 100, now 2. 100, now 2. Folks, this piece is stunning. Take another look. And now 3. 2, now 3. 2, now 3. 2, 3.
Guys, don't miss it.
250, one time. 250, now 3. 250, now 3. 250, now 3. 325, one time. 3, now 3 and a quarter, 325. 3, now 3 and a quarter, 325. Let's go. 325, 325, and go to 300.
657, 657. White trucker.
auction. And you can check us out at auction78.com. I bought a Tiffany style lamp today. It's a little heavy to pick up and bring over here. It's great. It looks beautiful. And I can't wait to get it home and see how it looks in my living room. Come check us out Monday nights.
Remember the days when you used to play with toys and you heard the word Stricto Toys? This right here is one of the Stricto Toys Highway Express tractor trailers. Now, Stricto Toys was originally from Freeport, Illinois, and they were originated in 1912 and they dissolved in 1976. Now, their heydays were around the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. That's when they made a lot of trucks like this. And what you want to find is when you find an antique toy or a specialty antique car, the condition is what's the most important. You always want to make sure the labels on the other side are pretty good. All the fenders are there. Sometimes they have windows, they have seats. Sometimes those are missing, but that's what makes the value of the piece, is the rarity and the specialtiness of the piece. This right here is a transfer line by Stricto Toys, and it's got both sides. The tires are all in good shape, and it's got the cab, and overall it's in very good shape. I've had toys like this sell between anywhere from $75 all the way up to $150, $200 a piece, but the condition is what is the primary factor when it comes to antique toys. So the question I have for you is, what are you willing to pay for it? Let's go find out at the auction. Right there, Highway Express van line. There it is right there by Stricto Toy Company. All complete, all the doors in it, everything, selling out.
That cab is cool as beans. Look at that. All right, you tell me, what are you going around here? I'm giving $100. Look at 50, stop me in. You know what's worth that? 25, Japan. 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 75, 65, 75. Everybody 75, 75, 75, 65, 75, 75.
Hey, Venetian glass and early cut glass and etched glass is real popular from the 1870s, 1890s, all the way to about 1910. And they had a lot of cut glass and reverse painted glass that was etched. This right here is actually a cobalt blue etched mushroom lamp. Now, if it was original, these would actually be valued somewhere in the $1,000 to $2,000, $3,000 range. This is actually, it's not an old piece. These were actually being reproduced all the way from the 1950s to current. And this piece here, I believe, is a fairly recent item in the last 2 or 3 years. This was actually consigned to us from a local estate. It's brand new, and it does have a light. It all lights up. When the light's on, it's absolutely beautiful. This is it's all etched on the side. It's a blue base glaze, and they cut down to the crystal. So it's called etched cut crystal, cut to blue. So a lamp like this in today's, they're estimated between $150 to $300, right in that range. But the question I have for you is, what are you willing to pay for a beautiful cut to cobalt blue crystal lamp? Let's go find out at the auction. Guys, it's amazing. Blue ruby, royal cobalt blue, cut and clear, small 160, 160. There's no bulb in it, but it's super nice. That's what we have. They were in the $300 to $500 range. Super nice colors.
Alright, here we go. Let's have some fun. Start at 3 and go. Everybody 3, let's roll. Everybody 200. Everybody 2, everybody 2. I got 100 and a half. I'm at 100 and a half. I'm at 100 and a half. 50, 50, 50, 50, 100 and a half. 150, 125. Let's go. 100 and 100 and a quarter. 100 and 100 and a quarter. 125. That's off. And 150. 125, 150. 125, 150, 175, sir. 175, you turn. 150 now, 175. You turn, ready, 175, 150, 160, one time. 150, 160, 150 now, 160. That's off. 169. Oh, you wait, Braxton.
It's that time again for our antique match game. We're going to introduce to you 3 items, and you have to guess what the 3 items are going to sell for. So let me show you the items. Our first item up today is actually an 1880 old torch soldering gun. You put your gas in down here, the torch lights up and turns this red, and you can actually solder with it. 1880 torch soldering gun. Our next one is also the Victorian same time frame. This is an English inkwell. It's got the little cobalt blue insert, but this is an original 1880 inkwell. And our final item is a same time period 1880 Victorian early scales for gold or precious metals. It's got the 4 weights with it and the scales. So the question I have for you is, what do you think they're worth? Hope you have fun playing our new game. It's time to play Antique Match Game. Early English inkwell with a cobalt blue ink holder. So this is 1800. So let's go.
$46, 56, left side.
Early English snail. So right there, go.
Sweet little example here. All right, give me 200 and go. 10, 85. So up there, $35.
This is a soldering iron, but it's gas fed. So it had gas in it, torch comes out, keeps your time up. 1880s, right in the 1890s, turn the century, so let go.
So $40, 381, 381.
Hey, throughout our history, there's always unique pieces that come into our auction that we do not know what it is. And the more auctions I have, the more stuff just keeps showing up that just looks fantastic and has the look. This is one of those pieces. This is an Art Nouveau vase. The time period I would estimate 1890s to 1910s. It's got nudes on it. We have looked all over for signatures on this piece. Typically an Art Nouveau vase is signed. We've looked at the bottom of it. It's got a great pontil on the bottom. It is definitely of the right time period, but we cannot find any signatures on it. It's got the look, it's got the feel, everything is correct on it, but there's no signature. This is one of those things that I say, those who know, the rest of us learn. And I've seen it many, many times where somebody will come in who has the knowledge and be able to buy a wonderful piece because they have the knowledge and know what it is. So the question I have for you is, what is it 1890 to 1910 art glass vase worth? Let's go find out at the auction. This is one of those pieces, those who know, I don't know. I tell you what, it's got the look. This is a tall new vase and look all over for signatures. Can't find any on it, but it's got the look, got a phone bidder on it. Let's try it. Let's go, sell and see what happens.
Alright, you tell me, give me 500 and go. Have a good time. Where's my phone? Have a good time, where you at? Have a good time, where you at? 3, 2, start me 2, let's go. Have a good 2. Start me 100, where you want to go? Have a good 100, bring a 100, bring a 100, 50, 75, 50, 75, now 100, 100, 100 quarter, 100 and a half, 100 and a half, 100 and a half, 150, 150, 150, 150, 125, 150, 175, now 2, 175 up top, now 2, 1, 2, and 2, and 2, and 2, 175, 2, 175, 2, 2, 175, 2, 2, 175, 185, one time, 175 up top, 185, we go 185, last chance, 185, and so 175.
Hey, my name's Kevin O'Shills. Braxton's Auctions is a place to go for the best auction buying experience you can have. I bought this 1938 Consolidated Glass Company Dancing Nudes vase. Come to Braxton, it's the best place to go.
And what we have up for auction next is an Italian Art Deco Corso glass urn. Now these were actually from the 1930s to 1939 as a time period on this specific piece. And you can tell they're bronze on the base, bronze on the top. This was in fantastic condition. We see no chips or damages on the handles, and that's very, very important, as always with any glass. We had one of these, we found one of them that had sold on eBay for $2,000. This one here, I'm expecting it to fall in the $200 to $500 range, but it came out of a local estate. They don't know what they have, and there's no reserve on it. So it's gonna sell to the high bidder. So the question I have for you is, what's it worth to you? Let's go find out at the auction. Alright, this is an Italian Art Deco bronze quarter so glass urn. There's the information we found on the internet. They're averaging about $2,750 a piece. Bronze base, bronze top. This one's actually in perfect condition. There's no chip damage or flaws on it. But this is actually an 1870s period right in that window. So
That is stunning.
get going on with somebody.
Alright, 2,000, 72, 72, and now we go. Have a go on, 1,000 where? Have a 500, start me out. Have a 5, have a 5, 3, where do you want to start? 2, have a 2. 100, now half, 100, now half, 1 now, 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, 150 now 2, 150 now 2, 150, 175, now 2, 175, 2, 175, 2, now 2 and a quarter, sir. 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, and 225, then 2, and now 2 and a quarter here, and 225, 225, that's right, and 225, all in, all done, 225, and
And when I talk about elegant glassware, one of the names that always pops up is Heisey. Now Heisey is a collectible pattern, and August Heisey started the corporation in 1879 and closed the doors in 1952. Actually, in 1952 he went on a Christmas vacation and closed the shop, never to open again, which is kind of a unique feature. But in the heydays for the Heisey were 1890s to about 1920s, right in that window. And the Heisey, you could always tell a Heisey, if you look right smack in the middle of the bottom of it, it's going to be a diamond with an H in the middle of it. So Heisey mark their items extremely well. This is one of the nice feature pieces by Heisey. We've got a lot going through the auction tonight. This is a nice punch bowl set with glasses and the base. This is one of the big mistakes people make is they pick up the whole thing, but it's actually 3-piece. So a lot of times the bottoms get broken. So whenever you pick up a punch bowl, typically know the bases are not attached. But this is a super example of Heisey. As with all glassware, you always want to make sure and check the rims, especially on cut glass and etched glass, and that have little spikes on it to see if any of them are chipped, because that does take away from the value of the item. So the question I have for you is, what is a 1910 turn of the century punch bowl Heisey worth to you? Let's go find out at the auction. There you go, the Heisey punch bowl. It's all signed, got the cups on the inside. Heisey punch bowl.
oh, beautiful piece. Here we go. You tell me, what do you want around here? Which one to go? Give me $100 start. Look at the $100 to go. Look at $100, what? Look at $150. Good. Let's start me out. Heisey punch bowl. It is stunning. Give me $50. Let's go. Everybody 50, now 75. 50, gotcha. Now 75. 50, now 75. 75. Where? 50, now 60. 50, now 60. $60. Last call. $60. Can't believe it, but something up your way.
And one of our unique pieces up for auction tonight is a Egyptian style shoe shine kit. And I've had dozens of people ask me, what is this? What is this? But when you see it from the backside, you can't really see, but there's your placement for the shoe. And somebody would actually use that as a handle to carry it around. It's actually made out of solid brass. It's all carved here on the front, and it's definitely Asian. So basically, people walk up, get their shoe shine kits. All your shaker bottles were all for all the chemicals they put in it. It had little pockets that you could actually put all your supplies in, your towels, your polishing towels. It had pull-out drawers, little back storage area for the worker. So just a really neat shoe shine kit. I've had these before, and I've had them sell anywhere from $100 to $200. I expect this one to fall in the same boat. But the question I have for you is, what do you think it's worth? Let's go find out at the auction. Number 95, guys, early Asian shoe shine kit. Spin around. Check it out, guys. Look at that. It's got all the little keys on it, so little compartments. Put all your little stuff in, and you can fill it out. So you go into business down in Midtown. That's what you want.
There you go. That looks good.
There it is. Super cool. Sell and go.
Here we go. All right, give me 300 together. I'm gonna get 200. Let's roll. I'm gonna get to 2. Give me $100. Let's go. I'm gonna get 100. I'm gonna go 1, 50, 75. 50 down, 75, 75, 50 now, 100. 100 in the back now, 125. 100 now, 100 quarter, 125, 125, 125. I'm at 100. 1 10, help you? I'm at 100. 1 10. Give me money here now, 120 here. 120, your turn, 120, 110, 120, your turn, 120, don't let it go over that. I'm at 110, 120, I'm only $10 more. 130, last call. 130 and there, 120.
Hey, one of our featured pieces tonight, we've actually got 2 Coke machines. We have one from the 1970s, and we have an original one from the 1958 to 59. Now, this is an earlier edition because the top is actually embossed. Now, this one here is 100% original. Nothing's been done to it. It's not been repainted, and that's what you want to find when you deal with antique advertising and Coca-Cola memorabilia. You want an original look, original finish, and original color. This has it all. It's got the original 10-cent changer in it. It has the key to open the door. We actually took this down to a man who used to work with Coca-Cola in the 70s and 80s. He lives here in Loganville, and he actually serviced the compressor on it. It all works good. You stick your hand in it. It's holding a steady 41 degrees, what they're all supposed to. This is a top of the line, hard to find Coke machine. Now, I've had them go as high as $4,000 and as low as $1,100, $1,200. I expect this one to fall between the $1,800 and $2,500 range. But there is no reserve on it. It came out of a local estate over in Duluth, and he said sell it. So his loss is your gain. So the question I have for you is, what are you willing to pay for a 1959 original Coke machine, never been repainted, never been messed with, all original? Let's go find out at the auction. A 1959 series. The model is a 51 D as in David. You got the original keyboard, all opens up here. Came out of the estate up in Galore. He actually is working at total 41 degrees for the last 2 weeks. All here, all perfect, super nice. Lift your eyes up, guys. Let's do it. Sell it. Probably about a $2,000 to $4,000 machine.
Let's go. 2,000. Have a 2,000. Look at you. Start me there. Look at you. Give me $1,000 to go. Have a 1,000. Start me. It's not where we start. It's where we finish. Set me at 500. Let's go. At 5, 750. Now 1,000. 750. 1,000. Now 1,500. 1,500. Now 1,500. 1,250. 1,000. Now 1,250. 1,000 in the back. Now 1,250. I'm at 1,000 in the back, now 450. 1,000 now 450, now 1,500. And 1,250, now 1,500. Your turn, 1,500. 1,250, now 1,500. Your turn, go ahead, it's only one. Have it at 1,500. 1,500, now 1,750. 1,500, now 1,750. Jump again, 1,750, 1,750, 1,750. I'm at 1,500. God will make it fun. I have 15.
It's
16.
Cool.
We'll go $100. 15, 16. 15 now 16. 15 now 16. Have it at 16. We're still under the money here. 1,500 now 16. 16, 16, 16, now 17. 16 now 17. Just $100 more.
Hey, thanks for watching Braxton's Auctioneering tonight. I hope you learned something and you enjoyed it. Hey, Braxton's holds auctions every Monday night at 6:30. You can find out what type of auction we're having at our website at auction78.com. If you're ever in the Atlanta area or you have any questions about auctions, feel free to give us a call at the number below. We are located at the corner of Highway 78 and Georgia 20 in Main Street, Loganville, Georgia. Hey, we'll see you at the auction, auction78.com.